is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
We're etching closer and closer to the closing stages of a championship which has provided close battles, surprise finishes, illustrious entertainment, and most of all, the glory for the trophy still continues as we welcome you to Iowa Speedway, located in Newton, Iowa, in center between Minneapolis, Chicago, and Kansas City. It hosts the 9th round of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. All coverage today, of course, is on RaceSpotTV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network. I'm Jonathan Simon in the commentary booth alongside Randolph Cheneth, Hugo Luis in production. As we said, we're here from Iowa around the 1 kilometer, 0.6 mile anti-clockwise layout. Exuberant corners out here on the racetrack. The second time we head to Iowa this season. The start line you'll see later today, it's not actually part of the original lap. There it is at the bottom left of the screen, the little hairpin. You actually steer right into the final corner, fly over the jump to begin the race. You locate the finish line. The jump is difficult here. That's where the dirt section begins. The most unique part of this circuit is the Joker lap at the top part of the circuit there. You skip most of the lap and you rejoin, and it's very difficult to calculate during the race. Good afternoon, everybody. Jonathan Simon on hand in the commentary booth alongside Randolph Cheneth. There are the championship standings on screen. Joni Heikkinen leads the championship for the first time this season, Randy. A dramatic difference at Sonoma. Mitchell had an awful round to forget.
Yeah, it is. Things are really starting to heat up in this championship with just a couple of rounds to go, and the pressure's on for both of those drivers, and it's going to be interesting to see how they can deal with it as Mitchell tries to go from being the wonder boy in Rallycross to now really has a solid competitor the way it seems. But we know that Mitchell's been in these championship situations before. Joni Heikkinen, I don't think we can say the same thing. Is he going to potentially crumble under the pressure as we get deep in this series?
Yeah, so we're ready to begin Heat 1 here today, and Mitchell de Jong already looks quick, and that was one of his aims, Randy, to qualify on top. That's what he needed. He's alongside Stelian Chepelevsky for this heat today. Only 2 heats today. We're not going to have a third heat, so the top 2 will advance to the feature from this race. Behind them, Logan Clampett for his new team. Garrett Lowe, who won this event last time out. We'll speak about that a lot more throughout the event. Then it's Gerstenberg, Gesmeyer, Lyon, and Guest. But like I said, Randy, finally, Mitchell de Jong, great qualifying position, great starting spot. But we learned last time out at Iowa, the front row got shoved out of the way by those behind.
Yeah, we know that this can be a little bit of a hectic start here going down in this first sequence of corners. You have to get a nice clean jump in order to get your way a nice transfer spot going into the features later on tonight. So
ready to go for round 9. It'll be 5 laps of action. Yeah, I don't. He's got a second left. This is hair raising right now. There he is, just in time.
Just drops into those DMs.
Here we go for Heat 1. 5 laps of action. 1 Joker available for the drivers. We go green from Iowa. Again, de Jong, a slight tap from Garrett Lowe behind. Logan Clampett slots himself in the 3rd position. So the top 4 haven't changed here at the start. Chepelevsky and de Jong also slicing and dicing for the 1st position. Look at him drifting through the corners. A tap behind. It looks like Logan Clampett's turned around as Mitchell de Jong goes for the Joker. Clampett in the wall.
Disaster there for the JDR Graphics Volkswagen Bug of Logan Clampett. Got a couple little taps from Garrett Lowe going in through that gravel section for the first time. A couple drivers take to the Joker early. Mitchell de Jong and Thomas Gerstenberg will be the ones who take the shortcut. Everyone else takes the regular route here, as things are going to be tight between the likes of Chepelevsky, Gesmeyer, Lowe, Lyon, and Guest.
Great Joker lap by Thomas Gerstenberg. He could find himself, Randy, in that race clutch car in the top 2 if all things go together and straight through to the feature round. And if not, good grip position for the consolation race regardless.
It's not over and done with just yet. There's a lot of time between him and Mitchell, so I don't think it was actually that great of a Joker lap whatsoever. And we saw people make this mistake last time out at Iowa, Johnny, is people taking and prioritizing that Joker too early in the race and it hurting them in the long run. It'll be interesting to see if maybe the likes of Stillian, Cedric, and Garrett might have a bit of an advantage over Gerstenberg where they can eventually take that Joker, as we see the nice little cheeky onboard with Chip Levski and his VR working through that gravel section.
Yep, here's Cheplevsky through the middle section. Does he elect to go for the Joker this time around? He continues away through into this tarmac section, the tight and twisty end of the lap here through the middle sector. And Cheplevsky, who a lot of people have tipped to be the next winner. There's Nathan Lyon going for the Joker. Lyon finds himself ahead of Gerstenberg just by an inch. And they are in the 2nd and 3rd position. Mitchell de Jong's run away with this. Mitchell de Jong is all on his own in P1. And if he keeps this thing together, could find himself into the feature race in that Subaru.
This is what he needs. He needs to get this confidence back. He's been on a bit of a downswing as Gerstenberg and Lyon. They fight as they head off in towards this hairpin, bringing them back towards the oval. Mitchell comes onto it. White Ford Fiesta coming up now. This is Cedric Gesmeyer. He's going to clear both of them comfortably, both Lyon and Thomas Gerstenberg. So that's the sort of gap I was talking about potentially jokering a little bit too early and it may be hurting you. Michael Guest, I think, may have jokered as well, but he got caught up in some trouble early on. So it's just Stillian and Garrett Lowe, the 2 drivers for position who we think still need to joker. Stillian definitely still needs to do it as he comes with a white flag. Going to be 100% happening right here. Does he manage to somehow, some way jump Mitchell? I think he's going to be close.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. So there's Mitchell de Jong right there. Cheplevsky's taking to the Joker. He'll appear somewhere on screen, hopefully. Oh, there he is. Back on screen, Cheplevsky. He's a bit too far behind, but the good thing for him is that he will head straight to the feature race, like we said. The top 2 from this event right now will advance. And there we go. Mitchell de Jong wins Heat 1. Cheplevsky in P2. And behind, the rest of the field will have to settle for grid position in the consolation races. Gesmeyer, a great event from him. He started that heat from P6. Garrett Lowe in the 4th position. Our race winner from last time out, Garrett Lowe. And then Lyon, Gerstenberg, Guest, and obviously Clampett. Luckily, Clampett made his way in, or at least finished the race this time around. Just rage quit midway through. Let's have a look at the Heat 2 grid. So Josh Fox will start in the 1st position. Shine in 2nd. Rest of the field will be Zelensky, Heikkinen, not a good qualifying performance. Then Zadzon, Harth, Diaz, and King ready to go for Heat 2. We go green. Great start on the inside by Bobby Zelensky, but he can't find any room to head himself into P1. Heikkinen shoved around. This is important for the championship for Joni Heikkinen. The championship leader down in the 5th position. Now climbs another spot through the 1st section. He's turned around. Can Heikkinen keep it together? No. He's shoved almost off the racetrack, and then someone helps him face back forward.
That's one way to take a joker. That's one way to take a joker. Just save yourself from a spin, get tapped in the front end, and take it. One car I think has damage. Yuri Zadzon maybe having some technical issues up on the oval. So Julian Shine right now in 1st place, the first one taking that joker, and Joni Heikkinen opting to take it as well pretty much. Really didn't have a choice. It's going to be interesting to see how much time he lost getting pushed around like that, Johnny, because that's really going to affect whether or not those behind him, when they eventually take the shortcut, come out ahead or come out behind.
Yeah, we'll see if Heikkinen's got things together here at Iowa. He was battling with Mitchell de Jong last round, the last round that took place at this speedway, and it all came down to the final lap. He's got to get it together because this all matters for the feature race. The grid position matters. No other leaders take to the joker this time round, and it still means Shine and Heikkinen lead the field. But again, Randy, you can see qualifying is so important because, yeah, you don't get many points for that, but look at where Heikkinen is. He's already in struggle town already at the start of this event.
Well, I mean, you're sort of underselling the points, but I think the points are more than relevant for these guys. You talk about how close this championship is for Joni Heikkinen as well as Mitchell de Jong. I mean, coming into this race, only separated by about 31 points coming into this. So I would take every single point I could get if I'm either Mitchell or Joni. I mean, that's, you know, just the difference between pole and being really deep down the order. That's nearly a 10% swing in the points just right there.
Yeah, so there we ride on board with the sim gear driver of Joni Heikkinen. He's been ever impressive this season. Will it happen today? Will he end up somehow finding himself in the lead, much like Garrett Lowe did first time out at Iowa? Who's going to take to the Joker? Everybody's saving it for the final lap. It's going to be an intense finish. And they're the leaders traveling through the tarmac section. Have to say, we're forgetting about him as we see Josh Fox head to the Joker. There he is. Straight into the lead, possibly. Yes, too easy for Josh Fox. Shine now demoted to second, although the battle continues. Heading into the hairpin. Almost contact between the two.
A little bit tight there, that Vision Racing Subaru, but he held his nerve going through that left-hander as Julian's going to hold on to that second spot. But he knows this is going to be aggressive, and he's going to get aggressive. Makes it side by side with Josh Fox into the chicane, and Julian Shine, brilliant move, is going to pick up what is currently the race lead. Joni Heikkinen wants to take advantage as well. But they need to remember people are taking to the Joker, so this is not necessarily entirely relevant. Bobby Zelensky, he hits the shortcut. Where will he pop out? I think maybe ahead of them all.
Wow, Zelensky into the lead, and that's important because it's the final lap of Heat 1. Shine needs to keep it together. He needs a transfer slot. Heikkinen shoves him out of the way. Shine returns. Will Josh Fox find himself through? He does. The two battling cost them a position in the feature race, and that means Zelensky and Fox are through to that feature like we said. Shine and Heikkinen battling too much allowed Fox through for an important position, Randy. Oh my goodness, what a finish.
Sometimes all you need is a little bit of luck on your side in order to have a good night. That's what Josh Fox just got. A little bit of luck went his way. Now he finds himself with a pretty good starting spot going into the feature as we get ready for the first of our twin LCQs.
Yeah, so it'll be Gesmeyer, Lowe, Gerstenberg, Lyon, Guest, and Clampett for this first consolation race. 5 laps again. 3, though, will advance to the feature race. They'll fill up the grid as they are ready for some blitzing action here for round 9 for the first consolation race. So I noticed Heikkinen, and we'll talk about this a little later on, Randy, very frustrated after that first lap, decided to give a bit of a shove to Shine towards the end of the event. Wasn't happy with the driving standards on the first lap. You could tell. Hopefully these drivers are a little bit more clean on the first lap. Here they go now. Engines rev. Lights illuminate. We go green for the C main. Clean start from everybody so far in the top 5. It looks like Gerstenberg in the 3rd position, trying to challenge Garrett Lowe for an important spot here, but Gesmeyer all unscathed in the 1st position here. Will he elect to go for the Joker on the first lap? Yes, he does. He has the outside line. Good decision from Gesmeyer.
Gerstenberg, the only one getting a little bit of contact. He dropped maybe a second or so there, so not much. Only 2 taking the shortcut are Gesmeyer and Logan Clampett as Garrett Lowe and Nathan Lyon. They're going to stay stacked up, and Nathan makes a brilliant move coming up onto the oval. Can't quite maintain the overlap, but does he dive it down the inside here? Yes, he's going to. Pulls up wheel to wheel as they work through this hairpin, and Nathan Lyon's going to move himself into what is essentially the lead of this little pack. The question is, did he maybe cost himself a little bit too much time trying to make that move? Or will he lose track of Clampett and Gesmeyer? However, he still holds what is technically that 3rd and final transfer spot, and him and one of the race clutch cars, that's Gerstenberg, they take to the shortcut.
Yeah, but it looks like sandwiched in between will be Logan Clampett, so this is sort of good for Logan Clampett, but who knows what Garrett Lowe will end up after the Joker, because Clampett right now could be out of the event, and he certainly had pace today to contend for at least, most certainly, a podium in the feature race. So he just has to reel in Nathan Lyon, but they can't battle too much because, like we saw, Randy, in the other race, you battle too much, you allow a driver like Josh Fox through.
And that's the big thing here is Gesmeyer still has a nice lead over this, and that's going to be the thing that he's going to be loving, is the fact that he's about 2 to 3 seconds out ahead of the likes of Nathan Lyon, Logan Clampett, and Thomas Gerstenberg. And if you're Lyon, if you're Clampett, all you need to do is be relatively calm here. Clampett looks pacier, I think, than Nathan, but Logan needs to be smart here. No need to really get racy here. You hold a transfer spot. Just, you have to wait and see where those drivers who eventually Joker come out. Because if you start fighting with Nathan, worried you might get jumped when someone Jokers, you're almost sure to lose yourself enough time that they will guaranteed to jump you when they eventually Joker.
Yeah, not expecting Garrett Lowe to Joker this lap round, and he doesn't. So you will not see him pop up to the right-hand side of the screen there as we ride on board with Logan Clampett and the American trying to reel down his fellow American countryman of Nathan Lyon. Lyon's had a great season, Randy, you have to say, and for him right now to be in a consolation race is almost a surprise.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, that was only a couple drivers coming out of every heat race. You know, the bulk of your feature event field is going to be coming out of your last chance qualifiers. They get the white flag on the first of our twin LCQs. So now this is Garrett Lowe going to be when he's going to be jokering 100%, taking to the shortcut right now. Where are they going to come out as your race leaders come back up onto the oval? It's going to be tight for that third spot as Logan and Nathan are fighting for it. They hit to that final corner.
Logan has to push in the final corner. Lowe shoved out of the way, and Clampett takes advantage of that. Clampett heads into the top two. Nathan Lyon may miss out, but Garrett Lowe shoved out of the way, and he's over his roof as well. Garrett Lowe's rolling around. Oh, and into the barrier there at the end was Thomas Gerstenberg in the race clutch car. We mustn't forget Cedric Gesmeyer won that heat. So let's quickly look at the race results. So Gerstenberg, Guest, and Lowe are out of the event. So Lowe as well, who had a shot there of making the feature race, is eliminated from today's contention. He'll be furious about that at the final lap. But Clampett, Lyon, and of course Gesmeyer will make their way through. Here we look at the B main grid, and it's about to start now. Shine in the first position, engines revving, lights illuminate. Good start from Shine. Heikkinen has the outside line. That's not going to be good for him as well. Hearth and Heikkinen get a bit argy. Bahaji through the first corners, and around is Hearth. Hearth is almost off the racetrack.
So a bit of an interesting start there as Julian's going to hold on. Johan Hart's not having the start that he would like, and that's going to be pretty much the end of it for him. As we have early jokers here from Julian Chine, Yoni Heikkinen, and Phil Diaz. Those three joker on the opening lap, so we're going to only have, what, 2 cars who've yet to joker. With Georgi Zadzon well off the pace, and Bob King currently the leading car that is yet to hit that joker lap. So Bob King, he might be in for another cheeky trip to the feature event here, Johnny. We've seen him pull it off a couple of times this season.
Yeah, we have. He started first one feature race. He's been really quick, Bob King, at times this season. So let's see how this pays up for him. He's in the Volkswagen, that #1 behind at the moment. But your top 3 right now for this heat is Joni Heikkinen. More importantly, he needs to get to that feature race. He needs to win this championship. He wants this championship.
What's happened to Julian? What's happened to Julian Shine? Is he having technical issues?
So something's happened to Shine. We know Hearth is out of the event with a DNF after the first lap, but Shine, who had impressive pace, Randy, is in trouble. He's popped back on screen. Oh, he's alongside Heikkinen. Where did that come from?
Well,
huge technical issues.
He's down a lap. The sim scoring him a lap down, so he's done.
Yeah, there's no way he's making that back up, unless it's a miracle, of course. Shine now, I'm not even sure. Would he realize that, do you think? Hopefully.
He might. I think he eventually will when his sim starts telling him that he's dealing with cars that are a lap down, but that's going to be a heartbreaker of a technical issue there for Julian.
Oh, and Shine. Oh, he's into the barrier anyway. I think something's thrown him off for sure.
That may have been just a rage quit, to be honest.
Yeah, Shine realizes that he's out, and he definitely won't be happy with that. Julian Shine, the passionate man, he needed just needed every single bit of luck to go his way, Randy. And in this race, it doesn't seem to be going that way, of course. Zadzon looks like he could be the only one who misses out as King took to the joker and slots himself ahead.
Yeah, it could very well be. However, for Georgi, he's going to get aggressive here now, knowing that as they work themselves through, coming up on toward the oval. Actually, these two have both yet to joker, so Georgi could have really applied the pressure and maybe jokered this time. He's going to have to maybe send it down here in towards the hairpin. He's going to close up as much as he can, tries to run up the hill and use the banking into his advantage as they work through the braking zone. Both of these two going to be jokering this time. How Georgi's going to make this move, I don't know, but he's got to find some way somehow.
And sideways is Bob King ahead. There's Yogi Zadzon behind. Where are they going to feed out? It looks like Zadzon may miss out by the end of this. King, though, has to defend the inside line, and then we look Joni Heikkinen, who will win this event. So Heikkinen will come through, head to the feature race. That's important. But look at the 3 behind. It's going to be awfully close. Zadzon pushed to the limit, and he even pushes Bob King off the racetrack. And that will mean Bob King and the Synergy Sim Racing car will advance to the feature race along with Phil Diaz, who's had a splendid race. Heikkinen, just by an ounce of fresh air, heads himself to the feature race. We will say goodbye to Zadzon, Hearth, and Shine. Time to get our breath back as well, Randy. We head to the feature race. And more importantly, it looks like it's going to be ultra intense with not only a talented grid out there, but with Joni Heikkinen, who will start this race from the 8th position.
Yeah, and that's going to be hard for him because he needs to make up as many spots as he can going into these final couple of races. He's in the benefit of having the points lead coming into this this final couple of rounds, of course. So if he has a slightly off week here, just being in the feature means that he's sort of guaranteeing himself a good point stay regardless. So I think if he can come away with a top 5, I think he'd be ecstatic. But I think as long as I think if he finishes ahead of 8th, 7th, I think that's going to be more than an adequate kind of recovery day for him.
And so looking at this grid right now, it'll be Mitchell de Jong on pole, very important for him, alongside Bobby Zalenski. The concern I have is Bobby Zelensky's hungry, Randy. He looks quick out there, he looks aggressive, but it's not a sort of erratic aggressive. It's a very confident, poised aggressive. And that's something that Mitchell de Jong needs to look out for in the opening laps.
Yeah, it is. I mean, these guys, that's going to be the big thing, for Mitchell. Great opportunity for him. Starting on pole of this race, as championship contender deep down the order, people are going to be aggressive. Mitchell needs to do everything he can to avoid some sort of early lap dramas, even if that means giving up the race lead early. I'd rather see Mitchell cycle out 2nd or 3rd as they go into that gravel section for the first time, rather than see him fight for it and potentially get himself spun. We've seen a couple of cars get themselves spun across people's noses at the start of these races thus far, and that could be a disaster for Mitchell and really give Heikkinen a huge advantage if it were to occur.
Yeah, so we know Cheplevsky and Fox will start in 3rd and 4th. The Fusion Racing drivers look quick, Randy, and we're about to switch sessions. So we'll talk about the grid first quickly when that pops up in just a few seconds' time. So as we said, Mitchell de Jong now for this 10-lap feature race. We'll start on pole position alongside Josh Fox. Behind them will be Bobby Zalenski. Cheplevsky in 3rd, Josh Fox in 4th. The timing screen refreshing just as I'm saying it. Gesmeyer in 5th, Logan Clampett in 6th. Nathan Lyon will start from 7th. Heikkinen hungry for the championship in 8th. The ever quick Phil Diaz in the next racing car in 9th. And Bob King scraping his way through to the feature, but still looking quick. We'll start from the back. We're ready to go here for 10 laps of action. Thanks for joining us on RaceSpotTV and the iRacing Esports Network. One joker available for the drivers as usual. Lights illuminate. Engines rev for round 9. And we go green from Iowa. Fox, rapid start. Cheplevsky breaks deep into turn 1, causes chaos behind. It looks like Gesmeyer's almost around, but more importantly, Mitchell de Jong with a clean start. Zelensky in P2, rest of the field behind. It looks like Nathan Lyon's been turned around, and another driver involved, maybe the driver there, Bob King. So those two already in trouble in the opening laps.
Yep, and their 2 championship contenders take to the Joker, as well as Cedric Gesmeyer. So those 2, they get out of the Hornet's nest with a solid nope. And I think this is actually going to be important for Joni Heikkinen, because if he has the pace to potentially reel in Mitchell, he's going to probably be held up by this white Ford Fiesta out in front of him of Cedric Gesmeyer. That said, Joni sees it opening up the inside, a little bit of contact, and he's immediately going to pounce and make that spot up. So now, Mr. Joni Heikkinen, he has clear track between himself and Mitchell. If no one jokers, this might be his opportunity to just hot lap here and pick up a couple spots. But as they say that, Bobby Zelensky, he takes the shortcut and reclaims 2nd place.
That's the move of a champion from Joni Heikkinen. He wants it, but up ahead, Bobby Zelensky sandwiches himself from his rival. And Heikkinen has work to do here in the opening laps and for the rest of this event. Gesmeyer demoted to 4th after that move. And we're riding on board with him. It looks like Heikkinen, corner by corner, is just etching himself away. The most important thing, Randy, is it hard to calculate the joker here because it's such a big delta. As in, if you're in front.
It can be because it's 11 seconds. It's pretty much the shortcut. You look at Bobby Zelensky, he just did a 25.4. You compare that to Mitchell's lap of a 36.3. So it might be a little bit hard to maybe calculate. The drivers, of course, have enough tools that likes the relative black box that they should be able to guesstimate where they're going to come out. So it's the tools are potentially there, and if you have spotters as well, they should be maintaining eyes on the timing screen as we get a bit of a side-by-side look at Stilly and really working hard, fighting with, I believe that's Logan Clampett, as well as the Fusion car of Josh Fox as they work through the gravel section.
Look at Cheplevsky working the wheel, putting in effort. The passion.
Nice logo on the wheel too.
Sim Racing. Yeah, I like that as well. So he's putting a bit of a iRacing Rallycross sponsorship there. But Chaplevsky, he looks smooth on the wheel. It's actually good to see the real-time sort of wheel at work there. There he is using virtual reality, even more immersive for himself too. Could make those spins and rolls a bit more exciting, Randy.
A bit more exciting, and hopefully you got a bag nearby when you eventually go flying and go tumbling end over end. If you got an uneasy stomach. But it's not only, of course, in these cars, Johnny, with the gravel, it's not just being easy on the wheel. In some regards, you can really muscle the wheel. We see Logan Clampett, he takes to the Joker. Where's he going to come out in regards to everyone else? He's going to jump Cedric Gesmeyer, but will be behind Joni Heikkinen. Actually might be side by side with Cedric into the final sector. No, Logan's going to overcook it and throw that potential spot pickup away, so Logan's going to fall in behind Cedric. But a lot of it is just actual throttle and brake input when you're on those gravel sections. That's really where you can find the time, is being smooth and really minimizing your wheel spin as much as you can. That's almost more important than what you actually do with the steering wheel.
Yeah, Clampett, one of the best sim racers in the world. The young man, he's only 18 years of age. There's Lyon turned around. And we know Clampett's had better days for sure, but he looks like he could claim a good haul of points. Replay on screen for Nathan Lyon. He's been, he's touched the tire bollard there, and that's just spun him around.
Oh, Josh Fox. Josh Fox takes the Joker. He comes out just ahead of Joni Heikkinen as well. So Heikkinen is just dealing with, every time he thinks he's getting a little bit of clean track, someone takes the shortcut and comes out just ahead of him, and he's slowly getting deeper and deeper down the field, and he's gone from a podium position back to P number 4. However, he's close enough to Josh Fox that he might somehow, some way be able to make something happen. Still a couple of drivers, though, that owe us Joker laps, the likes of Steely and Chaplevsky, Phil Diaz as well. They're the ones who still owe us Jokers that have yet to get into too much trouble. And if I'm Joni Heikkinen, I'm a little bit nervous, because if I look at Stillian right now, he's almost right bang on the money, 11 seconds behind Joni. That's going to be tight when Stillian eventually takes the shortcut.
Yeah, so Heikkinen needs to make a move on Fox ASAP and needs to make it without any hindrance to lap time. Right now, 64 points for P3 in the feature race, 61 for Heikkinen in the 4th position. Those 3 points could go down to the wire at the final round this season. Let's have a look. No Joker this time for Chaplevsky. He's keeping that in his bag. He's doing a Garrett Lowe.
I mean, there's no reason for him not to, because it's sort of the opposite of what you get, what we typically see. Normally people like to Joker early because it gets him out away from the fight. Here by Stillian waiting to Joker, he's got more than enough clear track in front of him, and he knows there's no way that he's going to be interrupted, because it's not like anyone's going to slow down 11 seconds to hold it up. So for Stillian Chaplevsky, he's guaranteed to have clean track from here until the end of the race. No reason for him to give that up. As Mitchell de Jong is going to work up onto the oval for the penultimate time, he's going to be waiting for the white flag as he comes off this hairpin. Only one more trip around the racetrack for him.
Yeah, he has been absolutely phenomenal, Mitchell de Jong, and he's back to his best here at Iowa this time round. He had an abysmal round last time at Sonoma. He was racing at the Sim Expo, not in his normal original sim at home, but he comes through on the final lap. We'll keep one eye on him, one eye on Chaplevsky, who's about to begin the final lap now. That is the difference in the Joker and the difference in the advantage that Mitchell de Jong has obtained. Chaplevsky, he will elect for the Joker. Riding on board with him, he will feed out possibly. Oh, he hits the wall, but he should feed out alongside Josh Fox. And that's important as Mitchell de Jong now heads to the final corner. Fox and Chaplevsky battling. Mitchell de Jong will win round 9 of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. Zelensky will come in second, but who will victor out for the battle for the final step on the podium? Fox in 3rd, Chaplevsky in the other Fusion Racing car in 4th. And look at that, Randy. Joni Heikkinen on the final lap, demoted to 5th.
Joni Heikkinen, I think he may be a little disappointed with that, but like I said, I think about top 5 was going to be the best he could potentially shoot for based on his pace here tonight. So Heikkinen, I think, is going to be happy with that point haul, but Mitchell de Jong, absolutely perfect for him. Maximum points in qualifying, maximum points in his heat, and maximum points in the feature. I think he's likely to be coming out of this as the points leader.
We've seen the young Mitchell de Jong drive with elegance today. That was absolutely fantastic to watch. Clean race, untroubled, and he is victor for round 9, and he claimed an important...
These guys know the race is over, right?
Yeah, they're still going on right now. There's Gesmeyer alongside Mitchell, who's having some fun right now. But let's have a look at your unofficial race results. Commander Sim Sports Mitchell de Jong, we know he has won round 9 of the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series in just over 6 minutes. For Mitchell de Jong this season, that becomes his 4th feature race victory for the inaugural Rallycross World Championship campaign. Zelensky in second. I told you he looked hungry, and he ended up claiming an absolutely fantastic result in the Slip Angle Motorsports number 83 car. Fox and Cheplevsky, they've always been lingering around that 3rd and 4th position. The two Fusion Racing teammates, the duo has become a good force to be reckoned with. They headed Joni Heikkinen in 5th. Disappointing for him, a round he'll want to move on from as soon as possible. Gesmeyer, ultra impressive. The privateer Frenchman ends up in the 6th position. Clampett, damage limitation for him. 7th position is an incredible result for Clampett. Thinking about what happened in that early heat race a few minutes ago. Diaz ended up in 8th, followed by Nathan Lyon and Bob King. All of those guys had some trouble in the early laps of the event. What an event, Randy. Of course, we'll speak to a few drivers to win this race with some post-race interviews, but we've already spoken about Mitchell de Jong, and as we calculate the points advantage, now what we want to talk about first is Bobby Zelensky, Randy, who was ultra impressive, and like I said, we want to see more of this from Bobby. You know, we think Zelensky to be our next race winner, but Zelensky has a chance too.
He's sort of like the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals in the fact that he was just sort of quietly really, really good tonight. I mean, anyone who's watching the NFL knows that those two teams are sort of some of the sleepers in the league right now that are looking really, really strong. But it's exactly what Bobby did tonight. I mean, I think this is the season best finish for him, and we didn't really talk about him much at all. In some ways, that's a good thing because I think that's the first quiet race Bobby's had all season.
So we will speak to your victor, Mitchell de Jong, for VRS Commander Simsport. And Mitchell, first of all, I described the race from your perspective. It looked elegant. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. You looked absolutely phenomenal out there today, untouched.
Oh, hi guys, thank you. Yeah, it was. I'm quite happy with the race. Feels really good to finally get a clean race in. Yeah, we did a lot more testing for this round. I have to really say thank you to like Bobby and Nathan and Logan and Michael Guest for helping wear down the track in a hosted session so we can actually prepare for this. So that helped, that was tremendous preparing for this one. So feels really good to finally have a clean race and no drama. It was actually really fun this time. So
how do you turn it around like that from almost, you know, jokes aside, but almost being, you know, kicked out of Coanda for a terrible result at Sonoma to then now winning the race, and now Coanda probably going to sign you to like a $10 million 10-year deal after this race? Like, you just switched it around like there's no tomorrow. How have you done this?
Well, I would sign that deal in a heartbeat, but yeah, no, it was, I don't know, just, I think it's always been a case of, especially this year, just not really having the time to, you know, do official races or things like that to test when the track's worn in. Always when the track's kind of fresh, I feel comfortable and all that, just because I'm able to test that in offline. But just due to running other series, I'm really struggling to keep up. So this one, yeah, just tried our best to do both, and yeah, working with the other guys to prepare for the track. It really helped tremendously, so I'm super excited with it, and yeah, happy it worked out.
Final question. Is it tough right now? I think you're up for the challenge, right, to battle for not just the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series title, but this one too, because it's a tough battle, but you seem to be up for it, right?
Yeah, certainly. You know, the previous races, you know, things turned out a certain way, and now I guess I'm kind of on the back foot, but I mean, you can't try too hard and mess anything up. You just have to go for wins and doing the best you can each time. Obviously, it's going to be tough, and but the case with both series, either Martin or me have a bad result in F1, or you know, Yoni, Josh, or me have a bad result in one race here. We don't make the final, and I mean, that's a complete shift in the championship. So you know, you just have to stay in it till the end, and we'll see what happens.
And finally, who gets it done for you from VRS Commander Simsport?
Yeah, of course, I want to thank Philip for staying up to spot for me this time. Really appreciate that. Just fortunately, we didn't have to do too many things with strategy. Everything worked out as planned. But he was always right there just in case something went wrong. So big thanks to him for that. And of course, all our partners, Virtual Racing School, Huizenfeld Engineering, and Wern Design, SimQuip, FeedTech, Joe Real Timing, and of course you guys for broadcasting it for us.
So there you go. Race winner Mitchell de Jong, his 4th feature race victory of the season. It's been ever impressive from him, Randy. You have an update on the point standings as well, Randy. It looks like Mitchell de Jong's closed in.
He should be closing in after this, if my calculations are correct, by about 21 points. So Yoni will be coming out with the championship lead, but that championship lead will be somewhere down around 11 or 12 points, I think, when everything gets updated. Haven't taken drops into that, so it may be a little bit more or less. But we talked about the importance of qualifying the heat race points a little bit at the start of this, Johnny. I mean, if the gap's under about 16 points, that's the difference between starting on pole and winning in a heat and not getting any points in either of those 2 races. So, things are tight between the 2 of them for sure.
Yeah, 2 rounds to go after this one. So you'll be speaking to Bobby Zelensky after this event. Right now, excuse me. What am I saying? Bobby Zelensky from Slip Angles Motorsports. He's alongside Randolph Cheneth.
Yep, got Mr. Bobby Zelensky here. And Bobby, you had really the quietest race of the entire season for you, and results for you in a 2nd place. I know things got a little bit physical, I think, in your heats, but I can't imagine a feature going any better than it went for you and Mitchell out ahead of you. Just pretty much get out in front and hot lap.
Yeah, both of the Iowa races this year have just gone great for me in terms of that. Obviously, the first one around, I was in a bunch of incidents and I ended up getting a podium. But today, I was just got a good start in my heat, won the heat, which was awesome. And then today, the main event, started 2nd, got away clean, and was just able to concentrate and drive. And I think this is by far the fastest I've been in any race too. Put a lot of good practice in yesterday with my teammates and Mitchell. Thanks to them for hosting that session. We just all had a good time, brawled, laughed and all that. And I think I improved a lot at the track yesterday, and I have to owe it a lot to that.
The other thing that's going to be nice for this, at least for you, is coming in and getting a 2nd place finish, is that this should propel you way up the points. I mean, you were only 6 points back from Garrett Lowe coming into this, so considering he had a win is going to be a huge boost for him. But I think you should close in on Johan and Stilly and potentially even jump them. So you're going to jump up to potentially fighting for top 5 in points as we come down to the pointy end of the season. I'm sure that's something that you're going to have to be more than ecstatic with trying to close this out, especially while like only a couple of other guys in this championship, most notably you and Mitchell, the only ones fighting for potential world championships in multiple seasons, or multiple series, excuse me.
Yeah, that's right. I am going to, however, need a lot of help in this series with the amount of points I'm back of Yoni and Mitchell. But yeah, I kind of shifted my focus now from, just trying to stay in the top 10. It's been a rough season, just been involved in a lot of incidents and missed a couple. I've only missed 2 main events, and that's really helped the points scenario. And now, just found a little bit of speed, and now I'm 5th, and now I'm just trying to fight for a top 5 or as best as I can do. I'm not aiming for anything. I just, want to show up to these races and have clean races and try to show the speed the best I can. So this is a great day, honestly. It's just really refreshing. Like I said, how the season's gone. So we'll do our best from here on out. Only 2 more races.
Quote South Park, it's a great day for Bobby and therefore the world. Thanks for joining us, bud. Congratulations on the 2nd place finish. Who gets it done for you in that Slip Angle VW?
Yeah, thanks. And obviously, thanks to the main sponsor, Virtual Racing School on the car. You can go there for driving day to learn from the best in the world. Obviously, got to thank all my teammates at the Tri-Oval Alliance. Nathan Lyon, Michael Guest, Logan Clampett. It's a fun team to be a part of. We're relaxed. We race for we want to do good, but it's a lot of fun for us and just something different from the oval stuff. So it's a lot of fun just racing with your friends. And obviously, also got to thank Rowden Graphics for painting the car.
Well, there he was, Mr. Bobby Zelensky, finishing in that 2nd spot. Coming home in 3rd is Mr. Josh Fox, who stood by with Jonathan Simone.
Yes, well, let's get him into the channel first. Josh Fox, who stood alongside me today for this event. Josh Fox, I have to say, first of all, can we go back to the heat race and that final lap? Just, you always need a little bit of luck on your side, but just, I don't know if it was just luck, but you seemed to position your car perfectly for that final corner.
Yeah, definitely will take the luck there. Looking back on it, really, I was missing turn one. It seemed like every lap in that heat race. And unfortunately, ran side by side with Julian, which was fine.
Yeah.
You know, we ran really clean, but I hate that, you know, that let Yoni get under me and put us all in that position. But yeah, take the luck there. But would rather stay ahead of those guys.
I was about to bring that up. The battle with Julian seemed to cost you because then you lost a lot of time with that. Bobby took to the Joker and he ended up getting good grid position. How important do you think the grid position was for you today? Because you started that feature race, I believe, from the 4th position. Had you started higher, you could have taken that 2nd position from Bobby or even challenged Mitchell for the win.
Yeah, it's true. The outside is really tough here because it's such a long way around. And you can really, the people on the inside can really get a good cut and they can get a lot of space. But the start went about as well as I could have possibly hoped for from that outside. I didn't get trained from the inside too bad and held on to 3rd there. But Bobby was really quick too, and it seemed like Mitchell was in his own league tonight. So both those guys were quick. But all in all, really happy with 3rd place. Really difficult race, so to come out of it with the podium is it's good stuff.
Can I also bring up, last final question is, do you have an intra-team battle with Chaplevsky, a friendly sort of tough battle between him for the championship? Because again, you finished just 1 position ahead of him, and it's ultra tight for you guys for that 3rd position in the standings.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun, not just in the World Championship, but even in like testing and official races. We always have really great racing, and we have a ton of respect for each other, and we trust each other a ton on the track. So there's no one else really I would like to be battling in that position with. It's really awesome.
And finally, who gets it done for you from Fusion Racing and the crew?
Yeah, huge thanks to all those guys over there. Joe Naughton spotted me tonight, managing our group here. Big thanks to him bringing us all together. Terry Rennert painted up awesome updated scheme for me here tonight. Looks great out there. Happy with that. And thanks to you guys for an awesome broadcast. And thanks to iRacing, and thanks to everyone who pays attention and watches this stuff. We're having a lot of fun out here.
So there is Josh Fox, ladies and gentlemen, who is a feature race winner in the Fusion Racing car. He again finished on the podium today. Randall Cheneth is alongside his teammate Stelian Chaplevsky, who we saw a lot of great action from his virtual racing sim here today.
Yep, and we'll talk about that. And Stelian, Johnny just asked Mr. Josh Fox if you two have a bit of a friendly rivalry. I think the rivalry is probably more heated than that. Are you often tempted to kick in Josh's throat when you see him finish ahead of you?
No chance. He's my teammate. I run, you know, on the right just to be sure I am going to secure my next spot behind him, but there is no chance I can risk. And, you know, for this place, we are teammates, we work together, and he was there with pace, so no, I'm not going to risk.
That's okay. Probably a very good option there to actually utilize. But actually, one of the things that really makes this these broadcasts interesting, Stilian, is the sort of work and effort you've put into your sim racing rig, and the fact that you've made it so available to us to use in the pictures for the broadcast. Why don't you tell the viewers a bit about your rig? Because I know a lot of people are probably interested in it, because I know you've put in you've almost put as much time into that rig as you have your own personal physique in the last year or two.
What can I say about this rig is, you know, the priority for my life, actually the last few years, is just racing, and I put so much love into that rig. I built it from ground. I mean, I had pretty nice rig before, but from last year, I started putting, you know, really high-end equipment, sim racing equipment together. And you know, with that green color around, and finally, because I really love the VR, the immersion from VR you take is just outstanding. I feel like I'm there, I'm into the car. But I really don't like the way it looks on streaming, so I decided to put triple screen setup in front of me, and I run second computer, which gives me that view of my car actually on the triple screen. It's really complicated here. Yeah, but I love it. And yeah, about my physique, I'm down from the point we started the championship. I'm down about 16 kilograms, and I feel amazing. I mean, I feel like I'm young again, because I'm not really.
It's definitely good to hear, and it's definitely good to see the result of so much work be able to pan off. And for those who do not use the metric system, that equates to about 35 1/4 pounds. So Stillion's been putting in a lot of work, not only in the car, but
Nice.
for the gains as well. So thanks for joining us, Stillion. Congratulations on a very strong finish here in fourth. Thanks again for all the work you do to help us make the broadcast as good as we can. Before we let you go, who gets it done for you guys at Fusion?
Yeah, everybody in the team. I love that team. I mean, we are a super nice group, and we have so much fun together. And I thank you guys, the RaceSpot. You are a brilliant team. I mean, I love your broadcast. You are the best, really.
Thank you.
Really. And iRacing for the great service and the kind of fast guys league. They really work with us together. So yeah, thank you everybody.
Thanks for joining us once again, Stillion. Good luck to you in the last couple of rounds.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
That rounds it up for the interviews, and points have been updated, Johnny.
Oh.
And Mitchell closes within 10 points. So essentially, you know, a qualifying performance could swing this to them being even. Ioni's stretching out a lead any way he can.
Yeah, that is ultra tight going into the final two rounds, and it's going to be very quick between these two. And the fans have been ever brilliant today as well. We've had a lot of great comments throughout the day, so keep bringing those in, the fans. One interesting one I found from Squiggy Wiggins' chan, Randy, is saying that yeah, Mitchell has a faster car out here today. So I'm not sure, is that via testing? Is it the Subaru today? How does that work?
Probably via talent.
Yeah, sort of.
So you can't exactly call shenanigans when someone's competing across multiple world championships.
Yeah, apart from that, we've had some great comments from the rest of the fans. So good work out there today. Most of all, championship standings, as we said, updated on screen. Fox and Cheplevsky, the two Fusion Racing drivers, have been ever quick out there today as well. I really appreciate those. Two of the best personalities in sim racing. Final comments, Randy, on this event. It looks going to be very close between Heikkinen and de Jong. We head next round to Phoenix Raceway and possibly Daytona. There are some talks about the new Atlanta Rallycross track out there. I don't think that will be implemented for these final two rounds, but if we head to Phoenix, that's another interesting championship. Haven't been there since round 4. Interesting round, excuse me.
Yeah, we haven't been there in a while, of course. I'd love to see Atlanta, at least one of them, plopped in. I mean, we just got Kokomo as well for the dirt ovals, and I'd like to get them. I know we can't have Kokomo for the final round because of the importance of Charlotte for the World of Outlaws on the dirt side, and that being where they have their finale in real life as well. But I'd love to squeeze an Atlanta round in some way, somehow. But I mean, in terms of this championship standings, I have to say, I do kind of feel for Stillion, because there's been a couple of those races where Stillion was sort of on for a podium or a really good result where things just didn't pan out for him, or he gets a little touch. I think Stillion would be in it, likely fighting with this championship if a couple of those sort of unlucky rounds don't happen. But regardless, I think we're going to see Ioni, Heikkinen, and Mitchell de Jong. This is where championships are made at this point in the season. This is where the pressure really is built. And I think these two are going to really be at the top of their game. And I think Ioni is likely going to put in a lot of work after what he's probably going to feel the disappointing performance of today.
And that next round will be in a week's time. That will be on the 11th of October. We will head to Phoenix Raceway. It hosts the penultimate round, round 10 of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. Coverage will begin at 1 a.m. GMT. That's 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, all on RaceSpotTV. Streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network. Thanks to our lovely viewers. You've been brilliant today. Always love having you on for each race. I'm Jonathan Simon alongside Randolph Cheneth, Hugo Luis behind the scenes in production, and thanks to our production team as well of Istvan Ballo, Andreas Werner, Simon Grossman, and Nick Thiessen for all their work behind the scenes. This has been a RaceSpotTV presentation broadcasted on the iRacing Esports Network. We say so long from Iowa. We'll see you at Phoenix in a week's time.